Well, you couldn't just walk into Doshisha University to look around. You had to have a contact person to get past the boom gate and a name, which I managed to have from my first trip in 1993. I had Professor Robert Fukada, who actually gave me a little book with the uh, photographs of the first 6 presidents of Doshisha University there in Kyoto. And I could not, of course, see the photo of that we know of Dr. Usui as being one of those presidents. And I was quite shocked when I first saw that, and I thought, oh, golly. But I couldn't even see a name there anywhere of Usui anywhere in that book, he assured me. And I thought, okay, I accept that. And he gave me this book, and I put a copy of that image in my little book so you could read it in the Samurai Reiki Master and see for yourself that, yes, that's the intention of getting what I wanted to get for myself. I just wanted to find him at that point for me, for me. This is in 1993, 1994. I wanted to find him for me. And I had no intention of writing a book, but it was starting to look like that because I was starting to gather evidence. Evidence, yeah. Well, that became a critical point of my day, the second day I returned. So I went back to Doshisha after I got this compelling urge to return to Doshisha to check this little image that's been implanted in my brain, that little black and white one that came to me in the dream. Yeah, that one up there, that's in the book a few times now, that bald-headed one like this, the space. Doesn't look anything like the traditional Usui photo. So understand my shock. I can very well understand your shock when I got something, what I got, which is what I'm trying to present to you to accept. So anyway, I go into Professor I got into his office and I said, look, Professor, we had this conversation. I think there's somebody missing. I almost called the guy a lie. And I said, look, I really think there's something missing here from that book of the 6 presidents you gave me. Is there anywhere else I could look apart from where I've already looked? And I said, can I look in the campus library, for example, if there's any other books there on the history of Doshisha? Sure, he says, I'll ring down for you. He had this very American accent. Ring down you and organise it. Tell the librarian you're coming. Yeah, terrific, goody. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I left the office again, just taking in again, knowing that I'm got a knowingness that I'm feeling the energy of Usui, our Usui Yokoi at this time. That banister railing that goes from that office all the way down to the next floor, and it's a very long wooden one. It would have been the very same banister railing that Usui ran his hand up and down. So I got my wish to touch that. That's one item. Anyway, we got down to the Doshisha campus library, just down the road a little bit and across. And in we go there, and my student said to the librarian in Japanese, she spoke, everyday Japanese and could read everyday Japanese, but not any of the old stuff. And she said, do you have anything on this man's name? And sorry. Do you ever have anything, on the history of the Doshisha presidents going back to the early days? That's what it is. And he said, he pointed over to a shelf over there on the floor, and I looked over. I said, anything in English? And he said, no English, Nippongo. That's it. So anyway, I said, oh, okay. So I walked over to the shelf, picked up one about that thick, and it was sort of like one of those pale blue woven bibliography type, biographical type dictionaries. That's right. And I flickered through all these tiny little passporty look photos that were in it, which is exactly what I needed to look at. And I went, nah, can't see anything there. And I thought, about to turn, oh, best have another look. Just to double check, I like to double check, sometimes even triple check, because that's just a basic nursing policy. Triple check everything all the time, drives you mad after a while, but it's good policy to have. Anyway, I flipped through the pages once again. I went, that's it, that's him. I could not believe it. That's him, Silent. That's the picture. He's the face that was in my dream. That's the man. I'll know that man's face anywhere. I'm just jumping around with joy in this library, one of the most prestigious libraries in the world, making all this noise, and everyone's going, oh, this gushing. Oh, God, it was such ecstasy. And I kind of thought, oh, that dream kind of paid off then, hasn't it? Oh, gee. I collected everything I could that day, everything I could, with that man's name on it. And it cost me the earth. And I took it all back to our hotel room because we were moving first thing in the morning to go up to do the initiation on Kurama. So we were sort of just resting the night before we went. Well, oh God, do I keep you in suspense? Yes, I will. I think I want to tell you about what I saw in one of the books that I bought at the library that had a more updated version of the history of Doshisha in it. And it cost a lot of money, but it was in colour and it was the latest book. So I'll go back to that when I start up. Okay. Hold on tight. The plot begins for you.